God remembers Noah. As the waters receded from the earth, God remembered Noah and all the living creatures with him in the ark. A great wind blew over the waters, and the flood began to subside. After months of isolation, hope began to arise as the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The phrase, "God remembered Noah," signifies God's faithfulness to his covenant. In the Bible, God's remembrance is always accompanied by action, demonstrating his care and ongoing commitment to his creation. Mount Ararat, traditionally considered the resting place of the ark, has been the focus of many explorations. Although no definitive evidence of the ark has been found, the geography of the region supports the narrative of a post-flood landing. The sending of the raven and the dove. Noah released a raven, which flew back and forth until the waters had dried up. Then, he sent out a dove to see if the waters had receded from the surface of the ground. The dove found no place to land and returned to Noah. The raven and the dove represent different aspects of the human soul. The raven, which does not return, symbolizes the restless and wandering spirit, while the dove, returning to Noah, signifies the longing for peace and renewal. The use of birds to assess the safety of the environment was a practical method in ancient times, reflecting the wisdom and ingenuity of early civilizations. The dove returns with an olive leaf. After waiting 7 more days, Noah sent out the dove again. This time, it returned with a freshly picked olive leaf in its beak, signaling that the waters had receded and new life was beginning to flourish on the earth. The olive leaf is a symbol of peace and new beginnings. This moment marks a turning point where hope and renewal become tangible after the long and arduous flood. The olive tree, native to the Mediterranean region, has been a symbol of peace and prosperity for millennia. Ancient olive oil production sites have been found throughout the Middle East, highlighting the importance of the tree. The waters fully recede. As the waters fully receded, the ground dried, and Noah opened the door of the ark. The long wait was over. It was time for Noah, his family, and all the animals to leave the ark and begin anew on the earth. The drying of the land and the opening of the ark's door signify a new chapter in human history. It is a moment of restoration and renewal, where life receives a fresh start under God's covenant. The notion of a great flood is echoed in various ancient cultures, suggesting a shared memory of a significant climatic event. The concept of starting over after a catastrophe is a common theme in ancient narratives. The restored earth. When the floodwaters finally recede, Noah steps onto a world that has been purified. The once chaotic waters have given way to a new beginning. The earth, now restored, is ready to be repopulated. This moment symbolizes God's power to renew and restore. The flood was a divine reset, purging the earth of corruption and paving the way for a fresh start. Ancient texts from various cultures, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, also describe a great flood and the rebirth of the earth. These stories suggest a shared memory of a significant climatic event that shaped human civilization. Noah builds an altar. Noah's first act upon leaving the ark is to build an altar to the Lord. He offers sacrifices of clean animals, expressing his gratitude for God's deliverance. This act of worship serves as a reminder of the covenant between God and man. Noah's altar is a symbol of gratitude and recognition of God's sovereignty. It represents the proper response to divine mercy, worship and dedication. Altars were central to worship in the ancient Near East, serving as places where humans could connect with the divine. The practice of offering sacrifices was common across different cultures, reflecting a deep belief in the need to appease the gods. God's covenant with Noah. God smells the pleasing aroma of Noah's sacrifice and makes a covenant with him. Never again will I curse the ground because of humans, even though every inclination of the human heart is evil from childhood. And never again will I destroy all living creatures, as I have done. This promise is a testament to God's mercy. God's covenant with Noah is one of the earliest covenants in the Bible, establishing a divine promise that shapes the future of humanity. It emphasizes God's grace and patience, despite human imperfection. Covenants were a fundamental part of ancient societies, often involving oaths and sacrifices. The idea of a divine covenant, particularly one that affects all creation, is unique in the biblical narrative, highlighting the universal scope of God's promise. The rainbow as a sign. As a sign of his covenant, God places a rainbow in the sky. Whenever the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures of every kind on the earth. This sign serves as a reminder of God's enduring promise. The rainbow, a symbol of peace and reconciliation, acts as a visual reminder of God's promise. It represents hope and the assurance that God's mercy will prevail over judgment. Rainbows have been seen as significant omens in various cultures throughout history. In the Bible, however, the rainbow is uniquely associated with God's covenant, underscoring its role as a sign of divine assurance. A new beginning. With the covenant established, Noah and his family begin the task of repopulating the earth. The world is new again, full of potential and the promise of God's blessing. Humanity has been given a second chance. This new beginning for Noah's family represents the resilience of life and the enduring nature of God's plan. It serves as a reminder that no matter the challenges, there is always hope for renewal and growth. Noah's story of a new beginning resonates with other ancient narratives that speak of rebirth after destruction. These stories underline the belief in the cyclical nature of life and the hope for renewal. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.